had for living. The concerns that we had in those days that made us, our young people, grow up to be good. They didn't have to teach them. They didn't have to use a switch on them. All you had to do was look at them. And I can remember back, I can't remember, but I heard this story about my grandmother died. And so she was from Yankton, and they were going to send her back down to Greenwood. And so my father said, I'd like to have the privilege of carrying my mother-in-law down to Wakpala, put them on a train, and go down to Lake Andes, and then over there down to St. Philip. Okay. Polish his harness all up, cleaned up his horses, cleaned his wagon, and everything like that. They brought him up like that. And they put my grandmother's coffin, had a box like, put him on the back. He got on there like that, started a procession. He's way out ahead. Now my grandfather had two dogs, Rastus and Rufus. Two dogs that always went with him. And so they said my father was, maybe from here to that wall ahead. I mean the rest of the people in the wagon and the team and buggy. My grandfather Deloria, my mother, my Aunt Ella, my Aunt Susie, my Uncle Vine, they were back there like that. So they were going like that. And these two dogs always went with my grandfather. No matter where he went, he always went with him. And always went like one Uncle Vine said, look up, look. Here was Rufus and Rastus running underneath that wagon. They knew that my grandmother was in that box. And you know, those are the kind of things I believe that the concerns of those old people. And there was another one, Mrs. Donna Swiftwater. She had an old dog over there, and she lived all by herself with her people up in the dog. And she had this dog that always she looked after and everything like that. And she called him Hakte. So she'd always have food, you know, scraps. If she didn't have scraps, she'd make something. She acted like she didn't always use scraps. If she would have to make it, she would make it. She didn't have scraps. She'd always have scraps. So anyhow, they had she'd have these scraps, and she'd go to the door. She'd say, Hakte, Hakte, looking over there like that. Hakte, and that darn dog was right there. You know, he'd be laying there and come out there like, and pretty soon she'd, what? There he would be. You know, he'd wag his tail, like I was saying, from the front quarters all the way back, everything this way. Nowadays, our dogs go like this, but in those days, the whole thing. The whole outfit. She said, you're always sneaking up on me, like that. And she had a little travois made, little pole like that, crossed them like that over, like that, tied them on, and put a little thing like that. And right up above, about some distance kind of up on the ridge up there was a lot of teats of them. So every time she would take Hakte and hook him up, and go up there and bring a lard can with water. Take them up there and dig teats of them. Load them all up. And it was so cute because she had this water, and it was hot, you know. And so she'd take a load of that water and put it in her head. She'd take some water and put it Hakte's in. Give him water. Then she'd hook him up in the evening, and they'd come back with a load of teeps. She'd try and put it on. Well, anyhow, she was lying there dying. And this was the days when they died of natural causes. Her time was up, and she was just waiting to be called, so she would do it. She was laying in there, there was a kind of a window right there. Hakte was laying right there. And they were all sitting in there with her. You know, but you can't just like that all the time. You got to sit around like that. And all at once, the old Hakte kind of moaned. You know, they'll yell, but this would come moan, and then he started kind of howling. So they looked out there like that. Hakte, he was gone. Before that, several days days when she laid there dying, maybe 2 or 3 days, they tried to feed him, he wouldn't eat. So they said they looked up and Huck there was going up there like that, and he was right up there where they used to dig Timpson. And there he lay. And I guess he was going back there because he thought Grandma Swiftclaw would be back there. And they tried to take food to him. He wouldn't eat it. And maybe about, he was up there about a week and finally he died. But you see, regardless of what they say about our old people, well, I tell you what, they were beautiful, beautiful people, and all of you are the products of those people. Be proud of yourselves. You're the products of the most beautiful people in the entire world. You have people like old Grandma Swiftclaw, and those old people.